Ladies and gentlemen, this is CBS, San Francisco CBS Live in Amsterdam. We'd like to introduce one of our famous star reporters, Michel Repine, on the mic, assisted by Bas Eblé from Haarlem.
All the way from Haarlem.
Here we go.
Haarlem, Holland. Repine will tell you everything about the Anne Frank house.
Prinsengracht is where Anne Frank hid with her family from the Nazis during the occupation from 1942 to 1944.
Yes.
After hiding there for a while, she was discovered and taken to Bergen-Belsen and unfortunately died 2 months before the liberation of Holland.
Yes.
She recorded her experiences in the Diary of Anne Frank, which was published in 1947 when her father was receiving the documents from some friends who found it in the house shortly after the terrorizing occupation that took her away.
Very good, very good.
On our left here we see the Westerkerk. After the Reformation had reached Holland, 4 Protestant churches were built in Amsterdam and named after the 4 cardinal points, north, south, east, and west. This Westerkerk is the largest of the Renaissance churches, and it was built by Hendrik de Keyser in 1619.
You can see it's really the Westerkerk.
Yes, it looks like the Westerkerk.
I think it is.
Did you put that there?
There's another reason for the Westerkerk to be very important, because
It's on page 36.
it's the beginning and the end of the Jordaan.
Indeed.
People live here in this area.
Hippies and losers, I know.
No, not at all. The Jordanese. That's what they're called.
Oh yeah, Cafe
And anybody
Bowls and
anybody who was born within the vicinity of this bell can call himself a Jordanese. Un vraiment Jordanais.
'89, Herrengracht. Here we are on here. I don't know, as long as I lived there, a year. More than a year, maybe.
No comments on the
Herrengracht means gentleman's canal, and since it was a gentleman's canal, Clifford got the house there. And then they let me live with him. She ain't no lady, but she got to live on the Herrengracht. We moved in there with the idea that we would start a restaurant. Then we started a restaurant. Quickly moving out of there when life became more normalized into an attic with the Van Tines, which I actually prefer to the Herrengracht, even though it is quite posh. Quite posh. The sun would shine more. We're coming near my block. Yes, there it is. There it is. Right there, 89. After the grey house is a brick house and then a big white entryway with a black grill. And it was this top 2 stories was where I lived for a year. You can see it's built in 1672.
architectural construction. We have to point out to our viewers that among the beautiful sights of Amsterdam and the never disappointing sights, we have some few backdrops, or what to say, disappointing things. This area where we're heading now, called the Ruiterkade, which is on the back of the famous central station, has been a, as one would say, a red area for a long time. The harbour.
Here you can have an impression of the harbour side of Amsterdam. After all, it's been a city that made its money in the golden age by
into the center via the outer schans.
Yes, the outer schans or
This is the view.
the Montalbanstorn.
Can you have that again?
Montalbanstorn. Yeah, tossed the fire, standing on against an old schans in 1512, and it's a dock. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Examples of the woonboten.
The woonboat, the floating living boat.
Used to be a center of hippie activities. I believe there was a time where everybody lived in a woonboat. I think it was in the mid-70s, but now we sort of crept on dry land again.
I can remember the first time I met Michelle that one of her faintest idea was to live on a woonboat forever. Until of course Holland went into the semi-finals of the European soccer, and as we could have seen on the television, living on a woonboat isn't really worth taking the risk.
That's true, but I think the decisive factor was the amount of closet space available for all the dresses, all the blouses, and all the shoes. I think there was room for me or the clothes, one or the other.
We're now heading into some the hottest political item for the 70s.
Yeah.
It's the squatters' delight, I would say.
You can often see gangs of policemen trying to evict people from houses such as this. You can tell that these are not normal houses. They're something more colorful, more quaint, more energized about them. And people just occupy them for free, and they're allowed to live in them. If there's nobody in there, they just get to live them, which could be a very good lesson for San Francisco.
We're now at the Amstel, page 28.
Well, people come from all over the world to Amsterdam, mainly farmers of flowers find this is the most delightful place to visit because you've never seen a better selection of flowers and healthier flowers and so completely affordable that it's almost kind of ridiculous to bring flowers to somebody's house because it's just not the same effect as it is in America.
The first television production that shows the bloemgraf from the back of the from the back. Can you imagine how beautiful it looks from the front? Can you imagine?
Somebody please hold up some flowers.
Alright, now we're heading into the center of Amsterdam, and our next reportage will be on the trendy cafes and the place to go to. Two new cafes called Café Luxembourg and Café Mike's. The places where To Amsterdam is going right now. Toet Amsterdam is going right now. I couldn't resist to ask the driver to more at that place because Michel has some specific ideas of the people and the interior design as well as the menu card of both of those cafes. And we'll be back in 15 minutes. All I can say now, this was Amsterdam by canal boat, by water taxi indeed. Not as profound as the gondel in Venice, but not too bad anyway. Last famous words from Michel. This is your chance. Wave goodbye to your friends in from the boat.
Oh no, it's better to give
A kissy baby. Alright,
Bye-bye.
here we go. We'll be back in 15 minutes at the Luxembourg Cafe.